welcome to the podcast. We are Curb Appeal Realty in Hendricks County, and today we're going to talk about things that turn buyers off. Heather's going to lead us in this segment, and take it away, Heather.
I would start off by saying that the first thing that turn buyers off is the curb appeal. When they drive up to the home, they want to see it nicely cleaned and landscaped. You don't have to spend a lot of money just keeping it nice and tidy. And then when they enter the home, they want it to be clean as well. They also don't want to see lots of dark paint and maybe lots of different colored paint. That might be your taste, but that may not be the buyer's taste. Some other things that they're going to look at is the flooring, maybe your carpet. You may not have the resources to be able to replace the carpet, but you can get it cleaned. You can have companies come and clean it, or you can even rent those machines yourself that are pretty inexpensive to take care of things like that.
Yes, it is really important to have your carpets clean, just because when people come in and see a lot of stains, and it might have a weird smell, then It's definitely going to turn them off.
You also want to make sure that your rooms are free of clutter. Molly would be really good at this because she does very good at and is very good at staging homes. But you don't want a lot of personalization sitting around, your personalized photos. They aren't going to care about that. And the less clutter you have, the bigger the space is going to seem to them.
And another thing, getting back to the flooring, there's a couple of different things that, let's just say they just don't have the money to do it. We can get an estimate. We can help you with that. We can help get an estimate. And then at closing, you can give the buyers a credit so that they can get new flooring. Say all your money's wrapped up into the home and you're not going to get that money until closing. So we can give the buyers a credit for that new flooring at closing if it's become a real problem. Like, no one will buy your home unless we get some kind of an allowance going on. So, and just remember, and I've said this throughout, realtors are your friends. You know, if you have a good realtor, we're here, we're on your side. Our goal is to help you sell that home. Remember, we don't get paid until your home is sold. So it's not like we're getting a weekly paycheck until the home is sold. So our goal is the same as yours, to get that home sold. The other thing, you know, I've had people before, you know, when it comes to flooring, not only give a credit, but also they've had the flooring replaced. If you can find a company out there that will do a 30-day or even a 60-day, or if you put it on a credit card, you know, then you can go ahead and just eliminate that up front and get that done. So there are some companies out there that I've seen, some flooring companies that offer 0% interest. And as long as you pay it off within a year. So, you know, you just have to do a little bit of homework and we can help you with that, because the flooring, I will tell you, it's a huge deal when people walk in, because it's a big part of the home.
Right. Also, something else that people may notice is some of your like outdated fixtures. You may not have the means to go and replace all the fixtures in your homes. There are options. You can paint those. You might want to start thinking, like when you are thinking about selling your home, start thinking about things that you could do that are going to appeal to those buyers, because buyers are going to come in and they are going to look at your home in a different light than what you look at it as. You know, you've loved your home, you've lived in it, memories have been built in there, but when a buyer walks in, they haven't experienced any of that yet. You want to make sure that, like I said a few minutes ago, that all your, don't leave out a lot of family photos. It makes it hard for the buyer to envision that their family is living in here. That makes them envision your family living there. So those are just good things to put away for when you're going to have a showing on the home. Visible damage, those are really big things too that you might want to try and fix for a buyer. They're not going to like seeing holes in walls, things that definite is obvious that, something has been done, maybe like a water stain on the ceiling. Those are going to be things that they're going to think that maybe the home wasn't taken very well care of. And so those are just some easy things that you can do to help spruce up the home. So when the buyer walks in, it will not turn them off right away. You don't want a buyer coming in, seeing something, and then like not wanting to see the rest of the house. So that can happen. So we want them to feel we want the home to feel inviting, very homey, have that nice smell. So
Also, if you want to appeal to more buyers, you really want your home to be eligible for FHA and VA loans if you can. So little things
Right.
like peeling paint are a huge deal to those appraisers. So if you could just get that painted before you put the house on the market, then that's not even an issue during the appraisal. So it's one less thing you have to worry about.
Right. Another thing that they might nitpick about are older appliances. It depends on if every buyer is going to be different. Some buyers, when they're buying especially if it's a first-time home buyer, they're not going to be able to come in and have money for a down payment and then have to turn around and replace the flooring and have to get new appliances. So sometimes those are things to think about when you are getting ready to list your home, because it definitely is something that a buyer will look and point out.
I agree. And getting back to the peeling paint, some people don't realize that FHA and VA also look at detached structures. So let's say your home is in good shape, but then you have a little mini barn out back that you haven't touched for 20 years and the paint is just falling off. So it's really important that you scrape and paint that also before you put it on the market. Another thing that they look for is it's just kind of weird stuff. It is health and safety, but if you don't have a handrail and you have more than 3 steps going up to your front door, they're going to probably flag that as well. So just little things. I mean, there are some really inexpensive fixes that you can do prior to putting on the market. But yeah, that would be, you just don't want it to be a deal breaker once you get a buyer on the hook. It's better to try to get those things taken care of up front, and we can help you do that so that there's not those later on pitfalls.
Right. And that's one of the big things. Sometimes when you are going to list your home, you don't have a lot of extra money right now to invest in the home and make it, look 100% perfect. And, but there are, just keeping it clean, finding those inexpensive things that, you can do to spruce it up and make it appeal more to that buyer. And that's what your real estate agent is for. We can walk you through and say, and give you suggestions and help you with those ideas that won't have you have to spend a lot of money out of pocket.
Yeah, and let's say you do have a little bit of equity in your home or a lot of equity. So you could get a small equity line of credit to get those things taken care of. And then when the home sells, you could pay off both your mortgage and that small equity line of credit. They're not hard to get, especially if you've got a good lender, like we just interviewed on the segment before. So you can get that small equity line of credit, get things done that you need to get done, and get it on the market. So you're going to be miles ahead. You don't want to be behind the 8 ball when you list your home and then have all these turnoffs. And then all of a sudden people think something's wrong with that home because it's been on the market for 90 days, 100 days, when we could help you with those pitfalls up front.
Right.
Get the most for your home. Yeah.
Right. I agree.
Another big thing is lighting. I've went into a lot of homes and there are a lot of light bulbs out. There are some light bulbs that are more white and some that are more yellow. It's really important to just go through and make sure all the lights are lit and to make sure they're all the same light bulb, because it's just kind of weird when you're in one room and like, oh, there's like a white over here and a yellow over here, like the warm and the cool tones kind of like competing against each other. I know it seems like such a little thing, but it does make a really big deal, especially in like your professional photos too, that we would have done to make the house look, beautiful online. So lighting is very important.
Well, and some of those fixes that you are going to have to spend some extra money on, chances are you're going to get that back. That's why you use us and you ask for our professional advice, and we can help you to maximize where you're going to spend your money at to get your highest dollar for when you sell that home.
Yes. I mean, because a lot of times we'll go through the home and they say, well, I'm thinking about having that bathroom remodeled. Well, if it looks decent and it's not falling apart, I would say that's probably not, the area that you need to spend your money in, especially if you're not going to stay there. But if your carpet's all worn out, then I'm going to say spend the money on your carpet. So, sometimes sellers have ideas like, an HGTV is great. I love all those shows as well. But, sometimes what they say to do isn't really what you need to do. I mean, they're trying to make a show. So,
yeah.
Right. So you don't need to remodel your whole house in order to sell it. So we're going to tell you, what things absolutely you have to do and why you have to do them. And that's hopefully what we're doing on these podcasts, is educating people to understand the why behind the what. Why are we telling you to paint that little mini barn? It's so that your buyer can get a loan.
Right.
Without the loan,
Yeah.
you can't sell the home, right?
Right.
So,
I agree.
anything else you have?
My biggest thing is just remember, keep it clean. Curb appeal. You want that buyer coming into your home. So keep your yard well maintained. And I think we've said it several times. You don't have to spend a lot of money. Just take care of what you have.
Absolutely. Okay, well, that about wraps up this segment of what turns buyers off. And so we're here to help you not to turn buyers off. So again, we can be reached at curbappealrealty.net, and any one of us can help you, and we'd be happy to do it.
Oh, 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 oh.